The Variety Club of Pittsburgh was created by a group of Pittsburgh theater owners and other showmen after they found a 1-month-old girl left abandoned in East Liberty's Sheridan Square Theater. 1927 that happened, and boy have they come a long way. The adoption and care of that child led to the creation of variety clubs all around the world. The charity is now expanded and is now taking advantage of new technology to bring hope to children with autism and other speech challenges. Christmas miracle took place just before the holiday in Westmoreland County. KDKA's Christine Sorensen has the amazing story of what happened for Variety, of Greensburg's 7-year-old Tyler Winfield, and a very special iPad.
I first met Tyler when he talked to me through his iPad, touching pictures for the device to speak. I asked him what his favorite food is.
Hot dog.
Now, 18 months later, Tyler shows me around his new house without needing the iPad. Well, let's start here. What's this?
A family room.
From room to room, he speaks like it's not new to him. Oh, wow.
This is my room. This is a teddy bear. And they have slime on it.
All of a sudden it hits me, the profound effect this will have on Tyler's whole future. When I ask him the same question I asked 1.5 years ago, what's his favorite food?
Hot dog.
I remember the last time I met you. Now I'm going to get choked up. You have to push a button to say hot dogs. And now you're saying it.
We never in a million years would have thought that it would have went from him receiving that device to him actually talking now.
Tyler's mom, Jen, says he asked Santa for a model elevator this year, something he never could have spelled out on his iPad. What is that?
It's a toy that goes up and down.
So, Jen, is this like a Christmas gift, his voice?
It's a complete miracle. I mean, just for him to actually sit here this year and tell us what he wants for Christmas. He couldn't do that before.
Jen says after Tyler got the iPad, he gradually started speaking new words.
I believe that him actually putting his own thoughts into the words that the device was speaking for him, I think it actually taught him to speak. Wow. Because he was actually able to hear and process what was being, like what he was thinking was actually being said.
Many kids with autism or other disabilities get a communication device like this at school, but don't have one at home. Charlie LaValle, CEO of Variety, the children's charity, wants every child who needs the device to have one.
Moms and dads over and over again talking about the frustration. Their kids would hit themselves in the head, or they would run before mom and dad could stop them and hit their head off the wall because they were so frustrated because they couldn't get mom to understand what they were trying to say.
The Winfields say their frustration diminished once Tyler could communicate with the iPad, and the whole family is happier.
Over the past year, it feels like I actually have a brother now who I can talk to, make sure he feels good about himself.
From just a couple words to full sentences to singing, Tyler's voice is a Christmas miracle.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Then the very next day, you gave it away. This year.
And now he's singing. Joining us now on the Sunday Business Page, two guests. Charlie LaValle, Chief Executive Officer, Executive Director of Variety Children's Charity, and also Deborah Rice Johnson, President of both Highmark Incorporated, as well as the Board of Directors of Variety. Welcome to both of you, and thanks for being here.
For sure.
If you hadn't seen that piece before, I don't want to say shame on you, but it has been viewed by so many people. Charlie, you were telling me 1.5 million people. You're hearing from people in Scotland. You're hearing from people all around the world because of what was going on right here in our backyard. What do they say?
Well, we're hearing from an incredible number of grandparents, and if we stopped and think about it, as a grandfather, I get it. They're living that life, the life of frustration because their grandchild can't communicate. They're looking for help. They're looking for a model. How can we help them with their child? So I think here we are in Western Pennsylvania creating a model for the nation again.
Why does it work? Deb, why do you think it works? I mean, from a child's standpoint, looking at it, why does this work?
It offers freedom. I always say the variety for children is about providing freedom, whether it's the My Bike program or this. This is my favorite because it gives a child an opportunity to talk to their parents, to talk with their siblings. It's just really freeing.
The My Bike program using adaptive bikes so that kids can get out and they can ride, even if they maybe don't have the physical strength or the physical skills to do it. With assistance, they're able to do that. What does that teach the child? That interdependence, what independence? What do they learn from that?
Freedom. Do you remember when you rode a bike for the first time? So many kids, their parents never thought they'd have the opportunity. And so that freeing opportunity and the ability to, ride the bike with their brother or sister is just so special, really important.
Remember doing a story, I think it was Charlie and I talked to you about it, during Labor Day, young man that was riding his bike. It wasn't that he had a disability anymore, was it? What were the words that he said?
He said, I want to show my ability to the world.
I want to show, right, and so he understands that.
Brian.
So then this takes the next step. This iPad takes the next step in terms of giving someone who doesn't or hadn't had a voice, didn't know how to express it, to do that. How does it do it? What does the software do? Take us through that.
Well, so communication disorders are different. They could be physiological, could be developmental, cognitive. So we work with speech language pathologists who figure out the exact communication app. What might work for you, different for Deb, different for me. So in partnership with the speech language pathologist, we take an iPad, but we call it a communication device because that's what we want everybody to think about it, because that's its purpose. Well, you get it as a dad. What if your boys couldn't tell you they were in pain when they were growing up, or that they were hungry, that they wanted, as Tyler did, 2 hot dogs and strawberry milk was the first thing he said using his device. So it gives the kids a chance to deal with this frustration, gives mom and dad the opportunity to know what their child's thinking and feeling. I can't tell you how many parents have said to me, I want to know what my child thinks, let alone to hear for the first time, I love you, Mom. I mean, everybody wants to hear that.
Deb, as a mom, right there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Being able to communicate with your child is important. So many of these kids could communicate in their school, but could not whenever they got home because they didn't have a device. And the variety is making this available.
Right, and it is out there. Charlie, we don't have a whole lot of time left, but how do people contact you if they're interested? I realize there are guidelines in terms of financial capabilities for the families, but how do they get in touch with Variety?
The best thing is to go to our website, varietypittsburgh.org. It's all there. They can find out. And I would just encourage working families to check it out and talk to their school and talk to maybe their minister or their pastor, because there's no reason that every eligible child shouldn't have this. So don't think it's too good to be true. Go check it out.
Make sure that you look into it. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Happy New Year. We very much appreciate it and the great work that you continue to do.
Thank you.
As we continue on the Sunday Business page, how a company called QuickMed Claims is helping local business owners navigate through the challenge of trying to sell their business. Stay with us. It's right after this quick commercial break.